Buzzfeed. People of color are sharing the rules they follow that most white people don't even know about. And it's an important conversation. When road tripping, every black person knows not to stop in a rural area for gas or a pee break if you can help it, especially at night. Hello and welcome back. Sorry that I'm not putting out my regular complement of videos, but I'm just so busy with my day job that I can't get to the computer to record things as often as I'd like to. But I want to take a look at this article. There's another article that kind of led me to this, which is another unspoken rules article regarding what people who are not white have to go through. And you know my thoughts on this. If you've been watching my channel, I mean, look, if it's so terrible here in the United States, leave. Go to a country where you're not the minority. Nope, you want to change the United States so that you are the majority and you have all of the rights and advantages that we have here in the United States. But the thing is once you become that majority, once whites become a minority, all of those rights and advantages are going to go away. Now, that sounds terribly racist of me, I know. But I see this happening before my eyes, that these rights are being taken away. We can see the country falling apart as we get more and more people who are not white coming into the country. And it doesn't have anything to do with race, honestly. It has to do with culture. You know, I don't think that anybody is bad because of the color of their skin or their genetics, besides, what we can link to sociopathy, psychopathy, all that stuff. So I don't think that you're bad because of your race. It's ridiculous. But there is just a correlation in culture. As our culture changes to support minorities more and more, whatever it is, for whatever reason, as our culture changes to make women have equal economic status to men, things are falling apart. We see this happening right before our eyes. And if you don't see it, then, I'm sorry, you're going to have to wake up because it's happening. Thank you for stopping by. I do appreciate everybody watching my videos, supporting my work. Please remember to like, comment, share, subscribe. Make sure that you're still subscribed because YouTube does unsubscribe people every single day. Now let's get into this article. It's no secret that people of color are forced to walk through life differently than white people. Yeah, they're forced to. They're forced to. Like I said, if you're not comfortable in this country, if you think this country is unfair to you, why are you here? Racism is a special case. I'm not saying that this country is perfect the way that it is, we can't change anything. No, but I'm saying if you're in a country where you are the minority and you're being picked on because you're the minority, you don't have equal rights because you're the minority, why would you stay? It doesn't make any sense. So we recently asked the BIPs, as I call them, in the Buzzfeed community to tell us the rules they follow that most white people don't know about. Here's what they had to say. I'm a Mexican-American woman. I always make sure I have my receipt in my hand when leaving a store. The number of times I've been stopped and asked for a receipt, oh, bull crap. You've never been stopped and asked for your receipt when you're leaving a store. Don't even give me that. That is so ridiculous. You know how many Hispanic people live here in California where I live, in Southern California? Oh, white people are the minority in Southern California. They're 39% of the population. Hispanic people are 41% of the population. The city I live in is 40% Hispanic. I have never, ever seen a single Hispanic person stopped leaving a store. Ever. It's such a lie. And besides which, getting your receipt is always a good idea, just in case you are stopped. Or just in case you have to return your item. Doesn't make any sense. Garbage. I'm from Louisiana, where they still have sundown towns. Avoid them at all costs. But if you have to pass through at night, make sure you have a full tank of gas so that you don't have to stop. Sundown towns are illegal. They're a violation of the 1964 Equal Rights Act. And as I understand, they're gone. I mean, where are these sundown towns? Please, if you are black, or if you know of you don't have to be black to know of them, but if you know of a sundown town, please let me know that they exist in the comments. Please go down in the comments, let me know, hey, they exist, they're right here. Because this is illegal. And if you are harassed or kicked out of a town at night because you are not white, then hey, you can take that up with the Supreme Court of that state, because that's illegal. You can take it all the way up to the United States Supreme Court, because again, that's illegal. So, as a black person, no matter how cold or windy it is, my hood stays off and my earbuds, headphones stay off my ears. Okay, whatever. What a joke. You can put on your hood and you can walk around and you're not going to get stopped. You're not going to get harassed. When I put on my hood, because I love wearing hooded sweatshirts. I love them. I've told this story before. I wore hooded sweatshirts so much in 6th grade that we did a little like graduation thing for grade school. They had named me Monk because I wore the hooded sweatshirts so much with the hood up, and they said that I joined a monastery. That was what I ended up doing with my life. Unbeknownst to them, that I would probably never do that. But you can wear your hood up so that people can't see your face. Nobody is going to harass you for that. I don't know where you're getting this idea from. Maybe if you're in some sort of weird crossover area in a big city that's known for violence, where you're near the black neighborhood, but you kind of live in a mixed neighborhood, maybe you'll get harassed. But come on now. As a Middle Eastern man, I make sure to always shave and dress professionally when I go to the airport. I also try to arrive an extra hour earlier because 9 times out of 10, I am the randomly chosen passenger to get searched by the TSA agents. Yeah, 9 times out of 10, I'm sure you are. You know what? I know a woman who was about 5 feet tall, strawberry blonde hair, and blue eyes, and she got detained by TSA for 4 hours. So they're not picking you because you're Middle Eastern, and if they are, good, because you might be somebody who is going to harm U.S. citizens on a plane. It just goes with the demographic. That's what we've seen, right? It's not Billy Joe Bob who has red hair and freckles, lives out in a sundown town, who's blowing up U.S. planes or hijacking U.S. planes. Is it? I mean, this is not. And showing up early, you mean you show up an extra hour earlier? Okay, well, you have to show up to the airport at least 2 hours before your flight now, right? Is it 2 hours or 90 minutes, something like that? So you're telling me you're showing up 3 hours or 2.5 hours? Okay, so that just makes good sense. You have to be there super early now for all this stuff. So it's just because you're a Middle Eastern man. You know what? I probably could pass for Middle Eastern if I dyed my hair black and grew out a big bushy beard and started talking with a Middle Eastern accent. And then I would probably get these looks and concerns too. So ridiculous. It's you can't even with these people. As a black woman, I usually keep my college jacket in the car. If I have to go to the emergency room, I'll receive better treatment if doctors see that I have a higher education. Really? How often are you going to the emergency room? It's just like you're just like a regular customer. You got like your 10th visit is free card. What does it say? Who goes to the emergency room all the time? I mean, I am like accident prone and health issue prone, and I've been to the emergency room like 6 times in my life. So don't even start with me. And besides which, the emergency room treats people based on their ailment. I had to go to the emergency room once. I went to the urgent care. I was having abdominal pain, and they're like, yeah, we can't help you. You need to go to the emergency room right now, and give them this paper when you get there. I went there, I gave them the paper, and I wasn't in the emergency room very long before they took me in because I needed to have emergency surgery. There were people that had gotten there before me who did not get taken in first. See, if you dot your I's and cross your T's, you don't have this problem even if you're a black person, okay? Make sure your hands are visible to the cameras when handling money at work. If money were to go missing, you would be the first one they suspected, I'm sure. I worked at a restaurant in Minneapolis, so that's known for its high concentration of black people and Hispanic people, right? I was a waiter, so money went missing out of the money that I owed to the restaurant a couple times. And I was accused of taking that money myself. And I'm not black or Hispanic or anything. I'm white, right? So there you go. It doesn't just happen to Hispanic people. And I wasn't the one taking it. What it was is you had to set you put your money in the office. If there wasn't a manager there, they had like this little slot you could slide it into. But there was a glass window. People could just see the money sitting there. So I'm sure somebody came along and just took some money off the top and went about their day. I got to the habit of I had to reach in as far as I could and put the money off to the side where people couldn't see it directly. And then that problem never happened again. I'm Mexican. I always carry ID in case I'm stopped and asked to prove my legal status in the country. Really? Oh, really? Are you now? Well, whose fault is that? Is that a bunch of white people's fault or is that a bunch of Hispanic people's fault? Well, it's technically a bunch of white people's fault for not closing down the damn border. I mean, that thing should be locked down tighter than Fort Knox. It should be like just hardcore dystopian locked down with barbed wire and all that stuff. But nope, we won't do it. But the fact of the matter is of course you should be carrying your ID with you. Anyway, I mean, it's not illegal. You can walk around freely, obviously, but anybody can be an illegal immigrant. It doesn't matter what your race. And on top of which, tell your people to stop coming here illegally. You speak their language. I don't know what to tell you. You tell them to stop coming here illegally, you won't have that problem anymore. In predominantly white places, I don't speak loudly in another language. I fear someone will tell me the cliche, this is America, speak English. Or someone might go off on my family for speaking another language. Wow, somebody might talk to you in a harsh manner. That never happens. I never receive harsh language from people who aren't white, ever. Oh my gosh, no. It's horrifying. And besides which, I see people speaking in foreign languages all of the damn time. All the time. I mean, seriously, you're watching this video. Do you ever see people who speak some foreign language like, oh, we're going to speak in English now because we're in an English-speaking country? Tell me if you ever see that happen when they're speaking to somebody who speaks their native language. No matter how angry you get, you try to remain calm. If you raise your voice even a little, regardless of what you say or how you say it, you are instantly labeled an angry black woman and judged wrongly, even when you're right. Yeah, I've never become angry and raised my voice and yelled and then been labeled an angry white man. Ever. Never. It's never happened to me ever once in my life. I used to have a serious anger problem. Are you kidding me? I used to go off on people all of the time. And I was always not taken seriously when I did that. People won't take you seriously once you lose your temper. It's just over at that point. Here you go, number 10. As Asian people, as them, yes, we have to try our best to pronounce every syllable correctly instead of compassion and understanding. If we mispronounce something, we get laughed at and called names. People who can only speak one language will question your intelligence when we are multilingual. Well, being able to speak 2 languages does not mean you're intelligent. I know a woman who is from South Africa, and she says water. And people laugh at her. She's had people laugh at her for saying water. Has nothing to do with being Asian, okay? Moving on. Number 11, as a Mexican American, you don't drive slowly through nice neighborhoods to admire the beautiful homes because people might think you're casing the place. Yes, I've seen Mexican Americans with blue eyes and blonde hair. And if I were to drive through a neighborhood slowly, admiring the houses, people would also think that I was casing the places, okay? So get over yourself. Number 12, I want to buy a house in the next couple of years, and I actively avoid looking for properties in a primarily white location. It's just much more likely to be unwelcoming. Yeah, and the same is true for me as a white person if I lived in a predominantly black or Hispanic area. And I know this because if I go visit these areas, they're very unwelcoming to me. And I have known white people who lived in these areas, and guess what? They were mistreated by the people who lived there just because they were different. So don't even start with me about how this is something that only colored people have to deal with. Number 13. As an Indian who lived in Texas, I'd avoid wearing traditional clothing in public at all costs. Certain parts are better than others, but better to be safe. So you're an Indian, so you're from India. So if you're here in the United States, why don't you want to assimilate to the culture that you live in now? Why don't you want to dress in an appropriate manner for the United States? You want to hold on to your ancestry, to your heritage from your former country. Why don't you just stay there then? Okay? As a Latino, you spelled that wrong. It's supposed to be Latinx with an X on the end of it there. I don't know what you guys were thinking. Is this like Latinx? What the hell? Where have you been? I always try to keep my distance when walking near white folks because they start guarding their pockets and purses when they notice me near them. It's pretty sad, honestly. They criminalize me without even knowing me. I've had Hispanic people get so close to me and put their hands on me. So I don't know who you are, who's doing this, but you're actually one of the respectful ones. Amazing. Being respectful is now racism. Wow, you're actually keeping your distance from me so that I have my own personal space to operate in? What a concept. What a concept. Freaking these people. As a black woman in a predominantly white area, I make a point of approaching staff first in stores when I walk in. I ask an innocuous question in a friendly, high-pitched voice, even if I don't need anything. They seem to feel safer around me and do not follow me around when I do that first. If you're going into stores where you're being followed around, why would you go in those stores again, ever? Period. And I know you're going to say, oh, at every store I go into, I get followed. No, you don't. No, you do not. You think that I have not lived around black people? You think I have not shopped in same stores where black people have shopped? I used to live in the South. I lived in a community that was like 60%, 70% black. You don't get followed around in stores. And if you do, then don't go back into those stores. And not only that, this is the reason why. We have here table 43 of the FBI's crime reporting. And we can see, oh, look, murder, 51% are committed by blacks. The forced intimacy, 26% is committed by blacks. Now you might say, oh, look, 70% is committed by whites. Yeah, but this 26% is more than twice the population of blacks. And now that you're like more than twice, way more. It's like 4 times, more than 4 times, almost 5 times the percentage of black males. Because in most places, females cannot actually commit that crime. It's not written that way. And also, you notice this 69% here, this is like the population of 69.8%. That's like the population of white people in the United States these days. You know something funny up here? When the FBI pulls up these demographics, they have black or African American, American Indian or Alaskan Native, Asian, Native Hawaiian or other Pacific Islander. Where are the Hispanic people? The Hispanic people are included in white. So even though 70% of the population in the United States is white, the FBI are incorporating Hispanics into this percentage here. So, sorry, it's not all white people in that. Robbery, 52% committed by black people. Aggravated assault, 33% committed by black people. Burglary, 28% committed by black people. Do we need to go on? This is the reason why you get followed around in stores if you're black, okay? It's a few rotten apples ruin it for the rest of you. Don't know what to tell you. Number 16. I scan the room wherever I go to see if I am the only person of color. I'm looking for allies who are going to have my back if something goes wrong. Are you an idiot? Are you an idiot? Really? So, you know what one of my students said the other day? I didn't remember his name. Each term is 1 month long, so I go through students quickly, and I don't remember all their names after I'm done with. I'll remember them during the term, but then when I'm done, I don't remember their names usually. And this student, black student, he's like, "You don't remember me? I'm the only black student in the whole program," which is not true. I'm like, I have 3 black students in my class right now. He's like, "Can I be in that class?" That's racism. If you want to be around people of your own kind, that's automatically racism. And you know what? I don't even care. If you want to be around your own kind, go ahead and be around them. It doesn't bother me. I don't see anything wrong with it. But fact of the matter is, if I were to say that as a white man, I would be immediately accused of being the worst human being ever to walk the face of the earth. So you don't need to have people of your own color around to guard your back, stand up for you in case something goes down. Okay? This is not how the game works. Believe me, if I saw a white person do something wrong to a black person, I would be the first person to say, "Hey, look, no, don't do that. Come on now." And pretty much everybody I know would be the same way. It's like, no, you don't. The person in the wrong is going to be the person that we accuse, not the person of color. So ridiculous. As a black man who loves hip hop, I often have to censor the music that I listen to so I won't be judged as a thug. Okay, well, people are going to judge you. So what? Get on with life. People judge all different kinds of music. If I see a white man walking down the street with all these tattoos on him, I immediately think he's a thug. Doesn't matter what color his skin is. I don't do anything about it. I don't walk up to him like, "Hey, dude, you're a thug. Let's go." No, that's his choice. I'm not gonna get involved in that if I don't have to. Number 18. I need to have photos of both my girls on hand in case someone thinks I'm kidnapping them. One looks like her dad, who is white, and the other looks like me, Samoan and brown. Really? Really, do you now? You think... This is... Oh, God. I don't believe this for a second. Okay. I knew a family, and she was white and he was Asian. And they had 3 boys. And one of the boys had blonde hair and blue eyes. Do you think they carried pictures around of him just because they like, oh, we're afraid that, if their dad gets stopped, people are going to think that he kidnapped him. Number 19, as an Asian American born in the U.S., I add my English middle name on my resume to help minimize false assumptions from hiring managers that I am a recent immigrant from Asia who could not fit into the culture of an American company. I believe that if I had a common last name like Smith, I would have experienced more career opportunities in my life. You can always change your name to Smith. It's not that hard. Not only that, you know what? I remember applying for jobs when I was younger, and they would give us this little personality test. Well, it was like, I don't know, pretty long. It was like 2 or 3 pages long. And guess what happened? I failed that little personality test every single time. So I was denied jobs because of that. Yeah. It's terrible when you're ostracized for things that are, not immoral. I'm not an immoral person. I want what's best for people. Number 20. As a black person, I don't wear backpacks to the store or mall. It's acceptable for certain individuals, but I know I would automatically look suspicious if they see me carrying a backpack. I think it's weird when anybody carries a backpack while they're shopping. That's just weird. Why would you do that? They should have like baby stuff in it. Number 21. And finally, never speak Arabic at any security checkpoint. The more gentrified you sound when you speak, the better. Well, generally speaking, if you can speak the English language fluently and clearly while you're in the United States, you're going to get along much better. People of color. What other rules do you follow in your everyday life that white people might not know about? Share your experience in the comments below. Are there comments down here? Oh, wait, got comments. Where you go? I really hope people who do not experience these things accept that others do. The lack of having to self-police your own behavior is what privilege looks like. Oh, you're right. I never have to police my behavior. Wow. I never have to. I never have to self-police, ever. I never have to go, well, you know what? I shouldn't probably punch that person in the face. There's 492 comments on this thing. Oh, wow. Thank you, everyone who contributed and anyone who might add to this necessary reality check. Yeah. Didn't realize how true this was until I started dating my current husband who's Hispanic. I won't shop at Nordstrom anymore ever since the returns process suddenly became 10 times harder and required an ID for him on a cash return. We live in so is every other country in the world, worse than the United States. People want to see your ID when you do returns. I've had to show my ID when I have returns. Wow, there's so many of these comments. We can't read through all 492 of them. I'm a middle-aged white woman. Thank you for sharing this. I'm smarter today for it. No, you're not. You're stupider today for it. Heard of a black woman who had a mixed white passing child get stopped in a store because she was suspicious. Maybe she was. I mean, you don't know. You weren't there. This is so sad to read. Love to all these people and everyone else who suffers from racial discrimination. Now, you got the first part right. This is so sad to read just because it's stupid and doesn't match up with reality. I mean, most of these things up here that we went through, I had to deal with in my own life. So I don't know what you're... It's so ridiculous. Anyway, this is why we can't have nice things anymore. Stop talking about it. Stop pointing out that, oh, look, there's racism. Everybody's a human being. Just treat them like human beings and we'll all get along fine. Anyway. Oh, man. You know, I have black friends. I know there's black people that subscribe to my channel. I don't know if there... I think there's at least one Hispanic person because I know because she leaves comments. So you can, go down in the comments below and tell me if I'm right or wrong on this, on my assessment of these 20 rules. Because most of this stuff is garbage. At least a little bit garbage, if not totally garbage. At least there's 21 rules here. Never speak Arabic. Yeah, right. Okay. Like I said, speak English in an English checkpoint. It just makes sense. What the hell? Anyway, thank you for watching. Please remember to like, comment, share, subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.